Marcus Aurelius's life story explained in 1 minute. Marcus Aurelius was born in 121 AD into a wealthy Roman family. He never wanted power. He dreamed of being a philosopher, studying wisdom and virtue in quiet libraries. But Emperor Antoninus Pius chose him as heir to rule the world's greatest empire. In 161 AD, Marcus became Emperor of Rome during its golden age. While leading brutal military campaigns on distant frontiers, he wrote his famous Meditations by candlelight in his tent. These personal notes about duty, virtue, and inner strength became one of history's greatest philosophical works. For 19 years, he balanced impossible contradictions. He was a gentle philosopher who commanded ruthless legions, a man who valued peace but spent years at war defending Rome's borders. Marcus died in 180 AD on a military campaign, still serving duty over desire. His writings survived and influenced leaders for 2,000 years, from George Washington to Nelson Mandela. Marcus Aurelius proved that true greatness comes not from wanting power, but from accepting responsibility when history calls. Elizabeth I's life story explained in 1 minute. Elizabeth Tudor was born in 1533 as the bastard princess. Her father, Henry VIII, executed her mother, Anne Boleyn, when Elizabeth was just 2 years old. During her childhood, Elizabeth survived constant danger. Her half-sister Mary became queen and burned hundreds of Protestants alive. Elizabeth was imprisoned in the Tower of London, facing execution for treason. In 1558, Elizabeth became queen at 25. Everyone expected her to marry quickly and let her husband rule. Instead, she turned her single status into a weapon. For 45 years, she dangled marriage proposals to foreign princes, using romance as diplomacy while never giving up her power. When Spain sent the massive armada to invade England in 1588, Elizabeth appeared before her troops in armor, declaring she had the heart and stomach of a king. Her navy destroyed the Spanish fleet. Elizabeth transformed England from a weak island into a global power. She launched the English Renaissance, supported Shakespeare, and sent explorers across the oceans. The Virgin Queen proved that sometimes the greatest strength is knowing exactly what not to give away. Galileo Galilei's life story explained in 1 minute. Galileo was born in 1564 in Italy and became a respected professor of mathematics. But everything changed when he built his own telescope in 1609. What he saw through that lens shocked him. The moon had craters and mountains, not the perfect smooth surface everyone believed. Jupiter had 4 moons orbiting around it, and Venus showed phases just like our moon. These discoveries proved something dangerous. The Earth wasn't the center of the universe. It moved around the sun, just like Copernicus had claimed decades earlier. When Galileo published his findings, the Catholic Church was furious. In 1633, the Inquisition put him on trial for heresy. They threatened him with torture and death unless he denied what he'd seen with his own eyes. Galileo gave in and said the Earth stood still, but legend says he whispered, "And yet it moves," as he left the courtroom. The church sentenced him to house arrest for life. Even locked away, he kept writing and thinking, laying the foundation for modern science. Galileo chose truth over safety when the whole world said he was wrong. King Henry VIII's life story explained in 1 minute. Henry VIII was born in 1489 as England's spare prince. When his older brother Arthur died, Henry became heir to the throne at age 10. In 1509, the 18-year-old Henry became king. He was tall, athletic, and spoke 4 languages. Everyone loved the Golden Prince, who seemed perfect in every way. But Henry had one obsession that would change everything. He needed a male heir. When his first wife, Catherine, couldn't give him a son, Henry demanded a divorce. The Pope said no, so Henry did the unthinkable. He broke England away from the Catholic Church and made himself head of his own church. He divorced Catherine and married Anne Boleyn. When she only gave him a daughter, he had her executed. Henry married 6 times total, executing 2 wives and divorcing 2 others. His desperate hunt for a son tore apart families, sparked religious wars, and transformed England forever. The athletic golden boy had become a 300-pound tyrant who rewrote the rules of an entire nation just to get what he wanted. William Shakespeare's life story explained in 1 minute. A glovemaker's son from a small English town became history's greatest writer, yet we know almost nothing about the man himself. William Shakespeare was born in 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon to a middle-class family. His father made gloves and traded wool. Shakespeare likely attended local grammar school but never went to university. Sometime in the 1580s, he left his wife and 3 children behind and disappeared to London. What happened next was pure magic. Within a few years, this unknown provincial became the most celebrated playwright in England. He wrote 39 plays and 154 sonnets that captured every human emotion. Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Macbeth, characters so real they feel like people we know. The mystery deepens because Shakespeare left almost no personal letters, diaries, or records. We don't know his political views, his personality, or even what he looked like. Yet somehow, this man from nowhere created works that still move audiences 400 years later. Pure talent transformed a glover's son into an immortal genius whose own life remains completely hidden. Andrew Jackson's life story explained in 1 minute. Andrew Jackson was born in 1767 on the frontier between North and South Carolina. By age 14, he was an orphan after losing both parents and his brothers to war and disease. Jackson became a lawyer in Tennessee, then a fierce military leader. He earned the nickname Old Hickory for his toughness fighting Native Americans on the frontier. In 1814, he crushed the British at the Battle of New Orleans, making him a national hero overnight. In 1828, Jackson won the presidency as the first common man to reach the White House. His rage against wealthy elites drove everything he did. He destroyed the National Bank, calling it corrupt. He expanded voting rights for ordinary Americans, but also forced thousands of Native Americans from their lands on the Trail of Tears. Jackson fought 11 duels in his lifetime and carried bullets in his chest from previous fights. He believed the common people should rule, not the rich and powerful. Jackson's story is about turning orphaned rage into political power and changing America forever. Benjamin Franklin's life story explained in 1 minute. Benjamin Franklin was born in 1706 in Boston as the 15th of 17 children. At age 12, he became an apprentice to his harsh older brother who printed newspapers. At 17, Franklin ran away with just 2 coins in his pocket. He moved to Philadelphia and taught himself everything. Franklin became a successful printer, then a scientist who proved lightning was electricity with his famous kite experiment. He invented bifocals, the lightning rod, and the Franklin stove. But Franklin wasn't done reinventing himself. He became a diplomat and convinced France to join America's fight against Britain, securing the alliance that won the Revolutionary War. Without Franklin's charm and reputation in Europe, America might have lost independence. At age 81, Franklin helped write the Constitution, becoming the only founding father to sign all 4 founding documents of America. Franklin died in 1790 as the most famous American in the world. From a runaway apprentice to international celebrity, he proved the American dream existed before America was even born. Franklin's story shows that constant reinvention and curiosity can take you anywhere. Muhammad Ali's life story explained in 1 minute. Born Cassius Clay in 1942, he won Olympic gold in 1960 at just 18 years old. But when he returned home to Louisville, he was still refused service at restaurants because of his race. Clay shocked the world by beating Sonny Liston in 1964 to become heavyweight champion. Then he shocked it again by converting to Islam and changing his name to Muhammad Ali. In 1967, Ali refused to fight in the Vietnam War, saying, "I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong." The government stripped his title and banned him from boxing for 3.5 years during his prime. Ali lost millions of dollars and faced 5 years in prison. Many called him a traitor, but he never backed down. When he returned in 1970, Ali fought legendary battles with Joe Frazier and George Foreman. At 32, he knocked out Foreman in Zaire to reclaim his title. Ali chose conviction over comfort. He sacrificed his career for his beliefs and became more than a champion. He became immortal. Mahatma Gandhi's life story explained in 1 minute. Mohandas Gandhi was born in 1869 in India to a wealthy family. He studied law in London and worked as a lawyer in South Africa, where he first experienced racial discrimination. In 1915, Gandhi returned to India and began fighting British rule through non-violent resistance. He believed weakness could be strength, that peaceful protest was more powerful than violence. In 1930, Gandhi led the famous Salt March, walking 240 miles to the sea to make salt and break British law. Millions of Indians joined his movement of civil disobedience. Gandhi used hunger strikes as weapons, nearly dying several times to force negotiations with the British. His methods worked. In 1947, India gained independence without firing a shot. But just months after achieving his dream, Gandhi was assassinated by a fellow Hindu who disagreed with his peaceful approach toward Muslims. Gandhi proved that a skinny lawyer armed only with moral courage could defeat the world's greatest empire. His legacy of nonviolent resistance inspired civil rights leaders worldwide, showing that true strength comes from refusing to fight back. Theodore Roosevelt's life story explained in 1 minute. Theodore Roosevelt was born in 1858 as a sickly child with severe asthma. Doctors said he wouldn't live long, but Roosevelt refused to accept weakness. He built his body through boxing, hiking, and relentless exercise. In 1884, tragedy struck when his wife and mother died on the same day. Heartbroken, Roosevelt escaped to the Dakota Badlands, where he became a cowboy and rancher, transforming into a rugged frontiersman. When the Spanish-American War began, he formed the Rough Riders Cavalry Unit and led the famous charge up San Juan Hill, becoming a national hero. In 1901, President McKinley was assassinated, making 42-year-old Roosevelt the youngest president in American history. He immediately began trust-busting, breaking up massive corporations that controlled the economy. Roosevelt became the first American to win the Nobel Peace Prize for ending the Russo-Japanese War. After his presidency, he explored uncharted Amazon rivers, nearly dying from disease and injury. Roosevelt's story proves that personal weakness can become national strength through pure determination and the strenuous life. Vladimir Lenin's life story explained in 1 minute. Vladimir Lenin was born in 1867 in Russia to a middle-class family. His life changed forever when his older brother was executed by the Tsar for plotting against the government. This tragedy turned Lenin into a revolutionary. Lenin spent years in exile across Europe, studying and planning revolution. When World War I broke out, Germany secretly funded his return to Russia in a sealed train, hoping he would destabilize their enemy. Lenin arrived in 1917 and found Russia in chaos. The Tsar had fallen, but a weak government had taken over. In just days, Lenin and his Bolsheviks overthrew this government in the October Revolution. A brutal civil war followed, killing millions. Lenin's forces won and created the world's first communist state. He introduced radical policies that transformed Russian society completely. Lenin died in 1924 at age 53. His death led to Stalin's rise to power. Lenin's revolution didn't just change Russia, it created the Soviet Union that would dominate half the world and shape the entire 20th century. Albert Einstein's life story explained in 1 minute. Did you know the man who changed our understanding of reality itself was once considered a failure? Albert Einstein was born in 1879 in Germany. He struggled in school and failed his college entrance exams on the first try. After finally graduating, Einstein couldn't find a teaching job and ended up working as a patent clerk in Switzerland. But in 1905, while examining other people's inventions, he had his miracle year. He published theories that revolutionized physics forever, including his famous equation E equals mc squared, proving that mass could become pure energy. His wild hair and genius made him a global celebrity. But when the Nazis rose to power, Einstein fled to America. Ironically, the man who discovered the science behind nuclear energy wrote to President Roosevelt, helping inspire the atomic bomb project. Later, Einstein spent his final years fighting for peace and civil rights, proving that pure curiosity about space and time could change the world. The failed student became humanity's greatest scientific mind. Nelson Mandela's life story explained in 1 minute. Nelson Mandela was born in 1918 in South Africa under apartheid, a racist system that separated black and white people. He became a lawyer and started fighting peacefully for equal rights. When peaceful protests failed, Mandela turned to armed resistance. In 1962, he was captured and put on trial. He boldly declared he was ready to die for freedom. Mandela spent 27 years in prison on Robben Island, becoming a global symbol of resistance. The world demanded his release while he secretly negotiated with white leaders from his prison cell. In 1990, his release drew millions of supporters and avoided a bloody civil war. Instead of seeking revenge, Mandela chose forgiveness and worked with his former enemies. In 1994, he was elected as South Africa's first black president at age 75. He could have punished those who oppressed his people, but Mandela chose reconciliation instead. Mandela's story shows how one man's courage, forgiveness, and moral strength can change a nation and inspire the world.